This is Rogue Wing, Coraline, or Helen RD over at Starship Modeler. Welcome to the workshop. Alright, back with a minor update on the F-16XL. Haven't gotten a lot done on her, but I have gotten a little bit done. Let me do it this way. Gone in and painted the trim around the cockpit in the same light gray as the cockpit, giving it a slight black wash. Cockpit herself, done light gray. Black wash to bring out the few bit of instruments. Seat was done in olive drab, and the ejector seat frame in a black metallic. Last but not least, our pilot, little bitty guy that he is, giving him a red flight suit, mostly because I'm not, like I said, I'm not doing a standard build on this. Once the paint's dry on the pilot, I'll go ahead and put him in the cockpit, and then I'll glue the cockpit in and actually be able to get some serious construction started. Okay, paint's done on the cockpit. Well, as done as it's going to be. You'll see why when I show you the assembled version. I've gotten a little bit more assembly done. Got the cockpit inserted. As you can see, you're not really going to see a whole lot in there. Let me add a little more light to it. Not really going to see a whole lot inside that cockpit, but it is turning out pretty well so far. Also got the scoop done. The lack of detail inside here would be a problem on a larger scale model, but at this size I'm not really going to worry about the fact you can see the landing gear bay in there. Seams are fairly tight. That seam along the scoop, probably going to need a touch-up, which is going to be really interesting to do now that it's attached to the fuselage. But all in all, not looking too bad so far. I still need to put the landing gear doors on and do a little more touch-up sanding here and here where I got the glue on the model. But as things are going right now, I should probably have at least the plane itself ready for paint this weekend. Thanks for watching. Alright, base construction's done now. Go ahead and take a look before we get some paint on them. Haven't glued the canopy down yet, but all in all, she's looking pretty good. Cockpit's in place. Got the pilot in there. Not really going to see a lot once the canopy's back down. Had some seam issues. I know I pointed out the ones here along the intake. This landing gear door went in just fine, but these main gear doors, the model was really not designed with the idea of using the model as gear up. So these gear doors do not really fit the opening well. I've done some sanding, but as you can see, there's a definite stair step here on the doors and some pretty decent gaps along where the doors line up. But all in all, these seams along here, I figure I'd go ahead and let ride, because once I get the paint on it, that'll help deal with some of that seam, and it's along a natural panel line, so it's not as big a deal. All in all though, she's ready for paint, which I'm going to do before getting the missiles into place in the bottom and on the wing racks. So next time you see her, at the very least, she'll be primered. Of course, I still haven't really figured out what I'm going to do color scheme wise. I do know she's going to be more showbird than she is modern military aircraft. There's a bit of a backstory of working in my head on a possible pilot. Ace you might appreciate. Ace of Spades 13 might appreciate that. But that's still down the road. Right now I'm leaning toward a scheme using graphite dust and red. Still debating which will be the base, which will be the accent color.